Hi everyone, and welcome to another Vlogtober. Today is Monday, the 13th of October. I've got Diesel in my arms here, so he won't whine and worry folks if he's down on the floor. I have been up for a while already. Diesel decided he had to go potty before 7 o'clock. I figured I was up, I might as well just stay up. So that's what I did, and I have already started to do some things that are on my list for today. I really do keep this list. And some of the things that I put on the list might seem kind of funny, like doing the dishes. I like to put even small tasks like that on my to-do list because once I can mark them off, I feel accomplished. I feel like I have done something for the day. And I have been having to wash by hand my dishes for the past at least 2 months because my dishwasher, which is right below us here, just stopped working, and I just don't have the money to replace it. So I'm having to do them by hand, and also learning that doing them by hand uses more water than the dishwasher. I often wondered if that was true, if you saved more money, or more water and money using the dishwasher rather than by hand, and it turned out to be true for me anyway. So let me go over my list of things to do. I want to go to the booth. I have been pricing items this morning. I have a lot to price, and a lot of those items came from the video that I just put out yesterday. And so I've got a lot more to price. I have to go up to the booth. I think I'll take you with me when I go up there, because a lot of you have been wondering about the booth and what it's looking like and that. And I think I have a couple of booth questions yet for my Q&A that I have to answer. Now the booth, once I come home, it's not finished. What I do then is put everything onto my Facebook Marketplace. I'm sorry, not Facebook Marketplace, my Facebook business page. Because whenever I add new items into the booth, I put them right onto that page so that folks know immediately when things go in. Lately, I didn't do it with the last posting, but lately what I have been doing is adding a description of the item and how much I am asking for it. But all those items can be found up at Gresham, Antiques at Gresham Lake here in Raleigh. And if anybody is local and they want to see things as soon as they go into the booth, the link for that Facebook page is going to be down in the description box for this video. Now, once I put my pictures and descriptions onto Facebook, it's still not over. I keep a spreadsheet of all of my items that are in the booth. And here's one, for example. I just showed this in a haul yesterday. And then this is what I will put on to my tag. And that has my dealer ID number and that hashtag 53. That's my item number that I keep in an Excel spreadsheet. Small description of the item, and then down below the asking price. So I have to go into my spreadsheet and mark the date that everything was put into the booth, because I like to see how long it takes to sell things. I have a horrible memory. Then once that is done, I can cross my booth off of my list. Let me see. I have to finish up my comments, responding to comments from you lovely folks on my last video. And I have already started doing that. I have a few more to go. And like I said, dishes are on my list. Laundry is on my list. That's another thing that I'm having problems with. My washing machine works just fine. However, the drainage hose or pipe, I guess it has some blockage in it, and the water was coming out of the pipe and into my wall. So I have this funky way now that I have to hang the hose out of the door so the water coming out of the washer goes outside rather than to my wall. It's a mess. And then I did already send an email to one of you lovely folks that is a very good customer of mine, and I responded to an email of some things that she was interested in purchasing from me. And then the last thing on my list is, if I can have time and the energy, I'd like to go out and start decorating my front porch for the fall, because I still haven't done that, and it's already the middle of October. So that is my list for today. I'm going to see how many things I can get done and take you along while I do them. So I will, oops, see you again in a few minutes. Well, Ruby and I just pulled up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. I have 2 totes of items that I priced this morning that I need to put into the booth. And then I'm going to give you a little tour. So stay tuned. So I have finished putting the 2 totes that I brought up. And here's just a little overview of the booth and how it is looking right now. I still have a couple of spots that are empty. I've got quite a bit of Halloween in, and I did bring up the last of my Halloween today. So all my Halloween is here, and I was lucky enough to have not even put out one item before it sold to a young couple. So I was very happy about that. And there's my baby bat that I talk about every once in a while. She's the little sister to Rebecca that you see in my kitchen all the time. And here are some of my clothes. This is where I'm thinking about expanding my clothing because I love collecting vintage clothes. And I was thinking about extending that bar over there. That'll give me a little bit more space for clothes. And I did have 2 of those shelves there, but one of them sold. All my salt and peppers, which I also love picking up for the booth. They're backing out the other side now. And there are the lions that I showed in yesterday's haul video. And that pantry sign has been up there forever. I should probably think about taking that down. And then right here are the bulk of my clothing items. So that's just a little tour of booth number 1959, Bat Thrift Crazy, up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. Well, I hope you enjoyed that very brief tour of my booth at Gresham Lake. Before I went up there, I had a nice lunch. I made myself an Impossible burger with lettuce and, of course, jalapeno peppers. I love hot peppers on an everything bun and some vegan mayonnaise and lettuce and a side of coleslaw. And I'm thinking about dinner tonight might be pierogies with sauteed onions and butter, as I do not have any vegan sour cream, which would be preferred, but I'll take the sauteed onions. I love sauteed onions. And I also responded to all of my comments before I left. And the rest of the day, let me see, after I went to the booth, I had to run to Aldi and pick up some litter. And then I ran by Lowe's just to see what kind of pipes or fittings or hangers or whatever it is that they might have there that I could possibly use to expand my clothing up at Gresham Lake. I did talk to Liz, the owner, and she gave me a fantastic idea, and I'm going to see if I can make it work. Booth questions. I had 2 booth questions left over from my Q&A that I would want to go ahead and answer now. And one of them was, how long do I let something stay in my booth? Good, that is a good question. And I wish I had a really solid answer. I do keep track, or I have started keeping track of when I put things, the date that I put things into my booth. And that is better for me because I just can't remember. If I look at something and I say, you know, that's been there for a while and it just isn't fitting in with how my booth is going now, I take it out. I don't really have a time span because it's really amazing. Sometimes you can have something in the booth for close to a year, and this has happened to me, and then poof, all of a sudden it sells. So I don't really have a time frame or a direct answer to that. The other was, do I ever sell any of my sewing productions in my booth. I have sold one thing, and that was a kimono. It was over the summertime. It was kind of the yellowy orange one that I had made. So I was actually surprised that it sold and very happy. And then how and when did I take the leap to get a booth? And would I have done something differently? Well, I had a booth. I've had several of them. And one I have had years and years ago. And then here's something I would not do again. Don't open a booth during a pandemic, because that is what I did prior to getting my booth at Gresham Lake. And that was really a bad move. It was just a bad time. I don't know what I was thinking. I'd also, what I have learned is to make sure that for me, that the booth, well, the whole mall actually feels like a good fit for me. When I was at Main Street Collective, oh, let me grab Diesel here. What's the matter, little man? Come here. When I was at Main Street Collective, in retrospect, that was not the best place for a vintage booth. A lot of the items there and the booths were clothing, more current contemporary clothing, and soaps and teas, coffees, that sort of thing. So I was really out of place. So I don't think people looking for vintage booths would have gone there looking for that. So that was something that I have also learned too. Oh, Gresham Lake I have been at now for several years. I can't remember when I started with them. I did start out small in a closet. So that was my leap kind of faith, is I wanted to start out small, see how it did. And then I moved from a closet to a corner, a larger corner space, which was really good for me. Then I got very lucky and got one of the spaces that I am in now, which is right up in front of a window, which I did utilize at first, and I have now, I don't display things in the window any longer. And in fact, that's where my clothes might be going, is into the window. And then I was lucky enough to get the booth that was right next to mine. So my booth at Gresham, as you saw, looks like one large booth, which it kind of is, but technically it's two booths. So I pay two different rents for both of the booths. So that takes care of that. I think I'm going to wrap up today's video and go ahead and log my things into my Excel spreadsheet that I put up at Gresham, and put my things on Facebook Marketplace also that I added to Gresham today. And I was very excited while I was there. Somebody bought something right off of me before I even had a chance to display it. I love when that happens. I get so happy, and I get to thank the person in person for their purchase. So that is it for today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next couple of days. And until then, everyone, please take very good care of yourselves. See you later. Diesel says bye.